Today we are installing something which 6 months ago I didn't even know it existed. Maybe I'm slow or not. I'm new to the MX5 Miata family, and apparently it's a thing, I think, to install stiffer door bushings. As you can see, the OEM ones are soft rubberized material, and by installing these it should give a more heft when closing the door, and also it should reduce vibrations. And some people are experiencing that the car feels stiffer due to that it is Delrin bushings which we are replacing the OEM ones with. And I don't know the durometer on these, but they are much stiffer than the OEM ones. And this is the second quick mod we are doing. The first one was the stubby antenna, which took like 30 seconds, and this install should go rather quick as well. But before we get there, if you do like the content of the channel, remember to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, hit that bell icon to stay notified when we have future modifications for the MX5, the BMW 330e, car detailing, and so on. But without any further ado, let's get on with the install. Before we start removing anything, I will make my life a little bit easier by putting some masking tape on top and on the sides, just to position the new one somewhat correctly, so we don't have to fiddle around too much. What we will do is actually install the new bushing and not tighten it fully, and then we will close the door a couple of times, and hopefully then the Delrin bushings will position themselves correctly, and then we can tighten them down. There you can see how soft the OEM one is. And we'll take out the new ones and see what we have in the packaging. We have the Delrin bushings themselves. As you can see, these are much stiffer than the OEM ones. We also had included some new screws and also a instruction manual for the install process. According to the Mazda Miata instructions, the Delrin bushing should sit in this cup and it should be applied with some force. But as you can see, this might remind you of when you're parking your bicycle in an airplane hangar. Yeah, or similar. And it is not holding it in place as the instructions are saying. They are saying also, yeah, your buckle or whatever could have caught up here and pushed these sides out, but I don't think that is the case. It has never happened to me, and it's the same on the passenger side, so I don't know what the purpose of this bushing is if it's not sitting snug. Then they're also saying, yeah, if it's sitting too snug, you should sandpaper this down in order for it to fit, but there is no such need with this. Well, let's get on with the installation, and we'll see if it makes any difference at all. We will use the bolts provided, and we will align the bushing with the masking tape. We will just hand tighten everything down, and then we will close the door and have the bushing realign itself, and then we will tighten the bolts down fully. The instructions are saying use blue Loctite, but I'll see if I do that or not. I just want to see the results first before we do any such thing. Now let's gently close this door and see if the bushing is aligning itself correctly. Let's do that again. So no extra force needed. So it seems to be sitting well, but again, then the bushing was not in contact with the cup anyway, so I don't know. But let's tighten this down and move over to the other side. We have now reached the ending of this simple modification number 2, and that was to install Delrin bushings for the doors. I have now been driving the car for an hour, so I hope I can give you some fresh impressions. And I have to say, from the initial impressions I have now, is that there is no difference at all compared to the stock OEM rubber bushings. More than that, it is actually more difficult to shut the doors closed. I don't know if that is a good trade-off or not. You'll be the judge. However, the reason why I might not be feeling that much of a difference is that I'm running coilovers with rather stiff springs, and I also have the strut tower brace or shock tower brace or whatever you want to call it. And those things together makes the car a bit stiffer compared to a stock one, so to say. And maybe that is why I'm not experiencing any difference as such. I don't know. If you have any questions at all, just hit me up in the comment sections below and I will try to answer them the best I can with regards to these bushings or anything else. And I did not, for the passenger side, put any masking tape to know somewhat where to put the Delrin bushing, and that actually made the installation more difficult as I experienced it. So that could be a tip for you if you want to install these bushings, even though if you have seen this video and I'm saying it didn't make that much of a difference. But again, then you should give it a go. Maybe you have a different experience compared to what I have. That was all for today's video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Do remember to subscribe, hit that bell icon to stay notified, and I will be seeing you on the next one.